time with your loudest voices. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Let me tell you about a 4-year-old boy by the name of Al-Qasim. No different to you or I, loved by his father and with a passion for drawing. His father noticed his talent and encouraged him until disaster struck in the form of a suicide bombing in Iraq. Al-Qasim and his 4 siblings was suddenly without a father. Their mother could not cope and abandoned them too. What's tragic is that this story will probably surprise none of you over here today. And this is because Iraq has the largest proportion of orphans in any country on the planet. And these children have had taken from them the one thing that money cannot buy, their parents. As many of you know, and we've visited you before, Al-Ayan has a single focus: to improve the lives of these orphans. Children like Al-Qasim whose lives have been torn apart through violence and bloodshed. I also know that we're not the only charity who have had the honor to speak to you. And I also know about the cynicism involved around charities. A good cause is one thing, but where does the money actually go? How much is spent on administration? How much will those in need, so over here the orphans, how much will they actually receive? Now in our case, every single penny of it. And this is because we have the backing of Sayyid Sistani. He encourages donations and covers all our running costs. There are 52 locations in Iraq and 14 internationally registered charities outside supporting this cause. This charity also covers 48,000 other orphans all across Iraq, just like Al-Qasim. This work has been recognized by the United Nations, who have granted Al-Ayan special consultative status. Brothers and sisters, this is a time for reflection, commemorating the Shahada of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet, a man who cared for those in need, and in particular the orphans, the most vulnerable of an increasingly divided society. Where better to sacrifice our own giving? Where better to demonstrate our altruism? Thanks to Al-Ayan, Al-Qasim has nurtured his talent for drawing and been entered in competition where he's won awards. And Al-Ayan has also organized an exhibition to display his work. Al-Qasim now has a vocation and a brighter future. A life which has not just been saved, but transformed. So what better way is there to help? To invest £55 a month, and this will sponsor the orphans' needs completely. That's less than £1.84 a day, less than the cost of a coffee. This will steer the orphan away from a life of fear, violence and bloodshed, and direct them towards a more positive future. And this will benefit society, the family themselves, and our own souls. We live in a life where it's a continuous conveyor belt of achieving things and getting to the next stage of this dunya. Maybe sometimes we should pause and think about our investments for the akhirah. It's very, very easy for you to help. We have details at the back next to the program supporting Zainabiyya. We also have sadaqah boxes which you can take home. We have a drop-off point in East London and someone that can pick up locally. The boxes have ijazah from Agha Sistani as well, where money placed into them count as received sadaqah to encourage mu'mineen to support the orphans. So I encourage you, brothers and sisters, to emulate the imams who we are here gathering in remembrance for, and copy or try and learn from the example that they gave us. One example of this would be to care for those most vulnerable in society. I don't want to take too much of your time, I know we're running behind. So please do come visit us, support the cause for the orphans, and do also support the cause for the Zainabiyya, please. Remember the ayah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. So I'm not going to translate it perfectly, but vaguely you can't achieve righteousness unless you give from which you love. So the brother did say, ask for loose change. I'm not going to ask you for loose change. I want to ask you for something which you hold dear to yourself. So when it's money that you find valuable, I want you to go and give it, not what's spare. And this is for your own soul and for the cause of the followers of Ahlul Bayt. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.